Hello, welcome to the London Ukulele Projects podcast. In this series, we are chatting with some of the amazing artists that featured on our charity single, With a Little Help from My Friends. I was so happy to chat with Marc Gallagher. He is an incredibly gifted musician and very open about his struggles with mental health.
Felt like I just knew how I was at that point in time, and I was just like, I was worried that people would kind of think I was just a grumpy old git or something.
No, not at all. Do you know what I love? Is that you and Simon do this sort of head nod at the same time. I don't know if you noticed that.
I need to go back.
I love it. It's like one of my favourite.
Serendipities.
It's one of my favourite parts because it's like this, and you're like, dung, both of you at the same time. It's awesome.
Brilliant.
A little help from my friends. I'm gonna try a little help from my friends.
Clearly a very intelligent young man. He has over 500 songs in his repertoire, which he performs at cover gigs, weddings. He also writes his own songs, but is known in the ukulele world for his collaborations and has been found at many festivals in Ireland, Germany, Austria, and the USA. His work ethic is astounding, and he is hugely passionate about his craft. So I'm absolutely delighted to be having a chat today with Marc Gallagher. Woo! Okay, so who are your influences?
I laugh because recently I was busking, and I live stream my busking sessions now just to give some interaction with my people who aren't in Nantwich. So I was playing the intro to While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and I was just about to start singing. This woman came up and chatted to me saying, "Who is your inspiration?" And I was just having a conversation with her while still trying to play the intro and just keep that going. And that was quite fun. My inspiration. So songwriter-wise, Brad Paisley and Ed Sheeran. They are my favorite songwriters. I love them. As a guitarist, my favorite guitarist is Brad Paisley and Brian May. I think he's incredible. And it's not that I've aspired to be like that, because I know that we're very different, even though he does play ukulele, which is always nice.
At you all, see the love there that's sleeping, while my guitar gently weeps. I look at the floor and I see it needs sweeping. Still my guitar gently weeps.
How long have you been going to ganaf for? Because you seem to be very much an essential ganaf person.
That's very flattering. I went first in 2016. That was my first one. But 2016 was the year I sort of got into the uke festival scene. Prior to that, but I started playing uke in 2011, and then I went to a thing called Nuke Fest, which is like a small festival held in a beer garden somewhere in Cheshire. But there were super small scale things, but with Barry Maz have got ukulele. So I went to them. 2014, I was kind of out of the scene for a bit. 2016, I missed the scene. I wanted to come back, and that was where it all started. And Ganaf was, the first one. And, well, it wasn't the first one. They were like second festival, I think, but still, they really gave me a chance, and from there I was able to use that to grow. I think I'm in Team Ganaf. I'm part of the team, but my responsibilities are still mostly limited to the weekend itself. I don't have much say in organising things, but it was really nice. Occasionally, when they have things to talk about, it's nice that my opinion is heard on those things.
Oh, that's great. And tell us a bit about your musical journey? Are your family very musical, or?
My family are that of police. My mum was a retired cop. My dad met her in the police force. My older brother is a barrister. My sister's studying law at university. Things pending that university is still a thing by
Yes.
September. But yeah, I'm the black sheep. I like music, and so that's how it happened for me. 2000, it was 2011. I started learning piano just out of my own curiosity, found interest in it. That went on to guitar, and then the next year I learned bass, ukulele, and I just wanted to play all the instruments. And my goal was I wanted to be versatile. I wanted to just, if anyone needed anything, I could just be there for them. So I had that. I started gigging 2013, I think, when I was about 16, 17 years old, just playing pubs every now and then I could. And then I realized that I wanted to do a career in music, but I thought that being a musician was like not going to be viable. So I looked into audio engineering, thinking that might be a bit more stable. So that's where I went and I studied, I got my degree. But while I was in uni doing that, I was gigging on the side for spare income, the same way that other students would like get a job as a bar or something.
Yeah.
So it was. So when I was in the latter stage of uni, I was basically earning what I needed to earn from gigging. So I just had that one smooth transition of just I kept doing what I was doing, but just didn't have to study in between.
Well, it's brilliant because most sound engineers are on the side of stage because they're too, they want to be involved but not seen.
I love performing. I realize I love performing, and I don't dislike being behind the console. I really enjoyed that too. It's just a case of I enjoy performing more. I enjoy being out on stage. I enjoy being the act that people are entertained by. I don't. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And how do you think it was it your school that gave you the opportunity to try all these instruments, or was it your parents were supportive of piano?
It was okay. That's a good question. It was first in school where I started learning, and they really encouraged me. And it was from my school were the ones who encouraged me first, and they kind of let me spend time in the music department just playing piano, and they helped me grow musically. My parents, my mum helped get me lessons, and that was brilliant. Same with guitar. Guitar wise, I remember I bought we had a module where we learned our first three chords, D, G, and A. The G was an easy G. It was like the C on a ukulele, that sort of shape. So we learned the three chords, and then I went to a car boot sale. I bought a nylon string acoustic guitar for about £4, and I used that, and I started learning. And I bought books of chords, and I just started teaching myself and stuff. It was great.
So you're totally, even with the theory and everything, you've sort of learned and explored it yourself.
Well, I have had lessons. I had lessons when I learned piano, and I did have lessons for guitar, but they were more like when I was doing my grade exams and stuff. Mm-hmm. But theory-wise, I don't want to say taught by myself because I did GCSE music, and so I would have had that in the curriculum. I did, however, drop music at A2 though. I did it AS, and then I didn't do it for the second year of college because, and that was a shock to a lot of people because they're like, "But Mark, you want to be a musician?" And I was like, "Yes, but for what I do, I don't need to harmonize the melodic components, or I don't need to analyze the melodic components of Shostakovich, and I don't need to write that in an essay for what I'm doing."
So that sounds very sensible. what's your process with the collaborations? Do you record your bit first, I think you said, and then you get them?
Yeah, generally speaking, it's we agree on a song. If so, I generally like to play into the person I'm collaborating with. I like to play into their strengths. So it's either a song they've done or that they can do. And if we're sort of struggling, I've got my repertoire, my about 400 songs or whatever. That's on my website. I just link them to that and go, hey, pick a song. We arrangement wise, we sort of talk it through, get the basic idea of, okay, you have this verse, I'll take this, I'll harmonize with you in these parts, and I record my part. And then I send it over, they send theirs, I mix it, edit video, and get it up. The most interesting part is when I'm harmonizing, but I'm recording my part first. So I have to imagine the melody to take an educated guess of what the harmony is, and that's always quite fun.
Yeah, you are really challenging yourself doing that. That's amazing. I'm very impressed. So yeah, talking about your collaborations, you've done so many cool things. I love how you're just so clever to meet people at festivals and just grab them and be like, but is it spontaneous, or are we seeing like the sixth take of?
I like to. I based on my background as a recording engineer, and my ethos is like I want to capture something that feels natural. And the collaborations in particular, they're videos of two people literally meeting at a festival, and we just go for it. And I'm quite forgiving of myself. Oh, whoops, chord, but I don't make a deal out of it. I'm not too much of a perfectionist in that regard because I like it to be natural, somewhat spontaneous. Are things spontaneous? Yes. The Kate in a baritone one, which is one that really picked up steam, that was done. It was like, hey, Kate, let's meet up and do a video. Let's do this song, but I don't know when we're going to get a chance to do it because it was middle of ganaf and I had my duties with Samwise, and so we found like it's about 10 minutes, I think. Right, camera, ran through the song once. That seems okay. Record, did it. Started raining at the end, and then immediately I packed up and went and did my duties. Other ones are a bit more premeditated. When I go to festivals, there are people I think of in advance and people I reach out to saying, Victoria Vox at Berlin Ukulele Festival, I reached out to her. I said, hey, you don't remember me. We met at ganaf in 2016, but you don't remember me. Here's who I am. Here's what I do. And I asked if she wanted to do it. She was all for it. And after a set, we ran through the song once or twice. So did a take, done. So it's we're not really looking at the fifth or sixth take. It's more dependent on who the partner is and what they are like. If they get too worried about or too if they are too much of a perfectionist themselves, if that makes sense.
But don't you think that that's what makes music so magical when it isn't perfect? Almost, it's like it's so. I love your collaboration seems so natural, and spontaneous.
Definitely,
that's what I like about it. Is it's not like you've sat for hours rehearsing and get every single note.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. I like that natural element to it. As my time as a recording engineer, yeah, I've taken. I mean, part of that ethos kind of comes from my time as an engineer, and my time. I speak about it like past tense, but I still kind of do it sometimes. But I went to a seminar with a guy called Ken Scott, producer for David Bowie's albums, Honky Dory, Land Sane, Ziggy Stardust, and he described. He said that Bowie, when he did vocals, always was one take. Wasn't always in tune, wasn't always in time, but it was a performance. He really performed it. Recently, I learned that the song "Give Me Shelter" by Rolling Stones, the background singer there, her voice cracks audibly. You can hear the guys in the background going, "Woo!" And despite that being an objective mistake, they kept it in because it was part of the performance and it adds to that natural element. And it's that kind of thing I want to kind of show in my collaboration videos and my other videos in general. I like to show that it's a human being, and it doesn't have to be perfect because music isn't.
Come on, turn the radio off. Friday night and I won't be long. Gonna be singing, I'ma make no talk. Sad tonight and it won't be long till I hit the dance floor, hit the dance floor. I got all I need. No, I ain't got cash, I got you, baby. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight.
see these YouTubers, they make it seem so simple and easy, don't they? But it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, I love. I've seen real value in posting the outtakes because it shows exactly that we're human and that it takes a while to get things together and nice and okay. Also, people find it funny. They like watching me fail, and I particularly like the one where I was just about to start playing and then the dog started barking. That was a great one.
Well, that's what always happens to me. It's like I set it up. I think I don't know. One time I was setting something up, and literally the batteries in my camera ran out, and then I know the phone rang, and then the doorbell went, and it was just like, what is going on? Why can't I? And then it's time to go up and pick my son up from school. So it really isn't as easy as just pressing play and we go. So I like that you share that.
Never get down about the phone ringing. In the song "Life on Mars" by David Bowie, the phone rings at the end of the song, and they were doing a great take. And just where their live room was, they had like a toilet, but inexplicably it had a phone that only received calls. And just as getting this really great take, the phone started ringing because some guy did the wrong number. And it just rang the phone in the toilet in the studio. So it happens to the best of them.
Your work ethic, honestly, when do you sleep? Because you seem to just be go, go, go all the time, which is very admirable.
So I was working yesterday from 4 till midnight at this day job. I came home and then I was up until about 3 writing out tabs. And then I kind of finished that, and it was about 3 o'clock. I think I went to bed, and I just only properly woke up about 11:30 before this interview.
And you're doing tabs? Is this for your patrons?
Yes. So I've got some instrumental videos coming out that I filmed. I'm really pleased with, and yeah, as one of the rewards that we have are tabs for these instrumental pieces for those on the $10 tier or above. So I've got a few of them, and I'm really pleased with it. And I'm also looking to see what I can. I'm looking to see how people respond to them, because the ones I really enjoy playing. And when I've done live streams and things before, people seem to warm to these kind of pieces a lot. So it'll be interesting to see what the wider uke world thinks of it.
And when you land on the ukulele, because you play all these different instruments, I mean, I think you still play them, don't you? Because on your last album that was released in December, you did all the instruments, is that right? I
did, yeah, everything except drums. I'm not a drummer. That was done by Jamie, the engineer there. But still, I consider myself, I remember one of the biggest conflicts I had with my music teachers was that I was very versatile, and I wanted to be a multi-instrumentalist. I wanted to be perceived as such. But that became an issue with my music teachers. They're like, Mark, you need to pick something. You need to say, I'm Mark and I play this. Because at that point, I was a jack of all trades. Mm-hmm. And I was happy with being a jack of all trades too. But it was like, I'm music teacher, I play trumpet, I am this, I play piano, etc. And now... Uke's become my main instruments from like 2016 onwards. So I can now comfortably say I'm Marc Gallagher, I'm a ukulele player. But I still play guitar. I am, albeit rusty. There are much better guitarists than me. I enjoy playing piano. And bass is one that I have so much fun playing. I just don't get to do it enough. So yeah, I still play other instruments. I enjoy it, and it's especially useful when you're doing stuff like making an album, because then I don't have to hire other people.
Yes, that's brilliant. And when did you start busking?
I started busking in 2010. It was a Saturday in August. I was learning to play guitar. I knew how to strum songs and sing them, and yeah, I started busking in 2010. So, gosh, 10 years ago. Now that I think about it, and it's something I used to do a lot, just to because I was 13 at the time. It was a little money earner, and it's what I did less of in Manchester, because there's a busker every 100 meters that you go. It's ridiculous, but I loved it. I I still do. I still go and busk now, especially in nice weather that we've had recently. It's been about 10 years or so that I've been busking, on and off, but it's something I've always got a kick out of doing, and I've been, it's been there for me when I needed it. Stuff like traveling last year and being able to, gracing the streets of like Berlin or Prague or Cologne or even small town like Altenau with my music is really nice.
Siri said it wouldn't be windy for me today. Siri lied.
Do you think it helps with building your confidence and getting that sort of performance opportunities? Because it's quite different to being in an open mic or...
I remember when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I say that, I mean, I'm 23, but I guess I'm still so young and inexperienced now. But when I was 13, I'd get nervous at the start and apprehensive and self-conscious and what people are going to think and etc. But one song, two songs in, you're fine. And that's how I felt with most performances that time. And nowadays, because pre-COVID, I was on stage like multiple times a week, I don't get nervous now. That's a great feeling. I'm glad that I'm glad I don't. I'm glad I have that level of confidence in myself. And I guess because with busking, it's a very vulnerable position to put yourself out in. You're constantly, you're worried about how people are going to judge and perceive you. And sometimes you get weird blokes in the street who will yell things at you. So it's okay. I think it did inherently because it's performance. So it must have done. And I can see some of the effects that it must have had on me and how I started performing throughout my career.
And how do you keep all of those lyrics in your head?
I don't know. Gosh, I don't know. It's what I do. I mean, I say I've got my 400 song repertoire. Not all of that is completely lyrics to memory. When it comes to chords, I'm fine, generally speaking, because my sense of pitch, I can listen to a song and be like, oh, okay, that's just a progression of A, F sharp minor, D, E, all the way through. That's fine, and I can. Yeah. So I'm all right with that stuff. I'll have an iPad and I'll use that for lyric reference, and then eventually it'll be like, oh, okay, I know the chorus now, delete that. Okay, I know the bridge now, take the verses out as I play the song more and more, and it eventually just gets to the point where, okay, I know this song now, I don't need this note, it's gone.
Yeah, it becomes maybe that automatic memory. It's a good skill, though, to learn all these lyrics.
I love it.
So with our the London Ukulele Project, our main emphasis is to use music to combat loneliness. Do you think music has helped you connect with people and build friendships at all? Or?
I guess inherently yes, but I also would say that I suffer still from loneliness. Music is great in that I've definitely got lots of friendships from this, and the collaboration initiative that I've been doing, that's been particularly fruitful in terms of the connections I made with some people, and I feel like I've managed to really help earn the respect of some people through this, but it's still lonely, and I still get lonely quite often. So normally I live in Manchester. I've got my own place there, which is lovely. But with music as a career, I generally find like I'll go out to an open mic night. That'll be my only form of. That'll be the only time I leave the house sometimes, and that'll be my only form of socialization. And I think that with music, it's possible. You can get friends from it, but most of the time there are lots of just acquaintances.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I find with music and loneliness, and I still suffer. I still feel from it, and every now and then there'll be something, but it's like festivals are great for that, great to reconnect, but friendships that like happen outside of the music bubble, I feel like they're still hard to come by somewhat. I think with festivals, it's fantastic. As you mentioned, we're all here for the same reason. And what I love is the fact that with those kinds of friendships that where you only see each other at festivals, which is fine because people live in different parts of the country and things. But I like the fact that you can go like a year or longer without seeing someone. You can just pick it right up from where you left off.
I wish I was something more. And no need to wonder far away. Say, I wish I knew you. I wish I knew you before. Well, I'll be glad when you're dead to rescue you. I'll be glad when you're dead to rescue you. Sitting on the corner high when they drag your body by. I'll be glad when you're dead to rescue you. Help me get away. Got a rich fat lady trying to ruin my day. Well, I love to live so pleasantly. Live this life of luxury, blazing on a sunny afternoon in the summertime. You said it just right. I'll never stay long enough to fight. I just run away, and it's you, my love. It's you I'm running from. You are mistaken, you are to blame. Lately I've taken to getting my own way, and it's you, my love. It's you I'm running from.
The absence of gigs and work in general is bad, but that's not a new statement, I guess. I think the other thing is I like it's opened the generosity of people, seeing the way people have contributed to me through tips, through Patreon. It's been nice to see how supportive the music community can be, even when sometimes it's so easy to kind of get down on yourself. It's important to kind of look at these rays of light in those times.
What was your first gig that you went to? Can you remember?
My first gig was One Direction in Manchester in 2013, I think. I wasn't a fanboy for them or anything. I liked their music. I had their CD, but yeah, my mother just kind of went, "Oh, I found a single ticket on eBay for cheap. Do you want to go?" Yeah. So my first gig was One Direction, which, oh my God.
And you went on your own, though? Was it just one ticket?
It was just one ticket. I went on my own. Well, I didn't understand. I hadn't been to gigs before, so I didn't understand the etiquette was to go in pairs. So,
there's no etiquette. You can go on your own. It's my favourite thing, actually, to go to the cinema on my own.
Oh my gosh, same.
Because what is the point of going with someone? Because you can't talk through the movie. Yeah. Okay. What does the future hold for Marc Gallagher? What is the dream?
Well, I've learned when it comes to sort of like people thinking about people's perceptions of making it, they think like a label and world tours and shit. And sorry, can I swear on this?
Yeah, of course.
I just did, but okay. Balls. So when it comes to like making it, for me, all I wanted to do was make a living from music. As Tom Petty says, I get to play songs and that pays the bills. I think that's pretty successful. So the dream for me is to keep doing what I'm doing. I say keep doing, I mean pre-COVID. I just want to be gigging full time and playing music. I like doing these festivals. I like doing the stuff in Europe, and I had the thing in America last year, and I want to just see that grow. I remember when I first got into the scene 4 years ago, I was really worried and about trying to earn the respect of people. And I think I have achieved that now. I think people do know who I am. They like who I am and what I have to say. And that's been rewarding. I just want now for my future just to keep it growing. I want to develop my collaborations to become maybe a thing for festivals. I really want to work on teaching and workshops as well. Album. I'm working on a new album as well. I've got a bunch of material written. I'm just trying to grasp funds together to use the studio again, because as wonderful as Songs from Happy Winter was, it was expensive as hell. Mm-hmm. So it's just trying to find all the funds together and to be able to make that happen. But yeah, it's good so far.
Something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind. Hang them on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. Something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life.
How can people support you, Marc?
So you can buy my merch is the most direct way you can support a guy without my album Songs from Happy Winter is available on my merch store at markgallaghermusic.bandcamp.com. Mark spelled with a C because my mum's awkward, I guess. So that's the way to buy my merch and download my music directly. There's also my music's available on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you find or steal your favorite music. There's also my Patreon, patreon.com/Marc Gallagher Music. You can make a pledge from as little as $2 a month, and you can get access to various rewards, so various tiers. So things like early access, things like behind the scenes, things like chord sheets, tabs, video tutorials, one-on-one lessons, and a gig at your house.
Amazing.
So yeah, buy my merch or join my Patreon. They're also my social media at Marc Gallagher Music on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can follow me there and see what things I get up to.
Well, thank you so much, Marc. I've really, really appreciated not only your time on being on With a Little Help from My Friends, but also your time today. Thank Thank you so much for watching and listening to this podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you'd like to hear more. Thank you so much to all the incredible artists that we've interviewed in this series. Please go and check out their amazing work. They're all incredible. And thank you so much to everybody that has donated, liked, shared, bought t-shirts, etc. for our charity single, With a Little Help from My Friends. We love you all and are so, so grateful.